Hi, and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today is the day 3 of mastering linked list and problem solving. Basically, this video belongs from GFG CodeCamp, which is intended to build a coding habit in just 21 days. Okay, so you have the whole article linked in the description, and I would be the mentor for today's stream. So today we would be doing two problems. That is, first we would be doing the intersection of two sorted linked list, and then we would do reverse a linked list, and the last problem would be homework. So before we move forward, there might be some folks who don't know who I am. So I'm Siddharth Hazra. I'm currently an SDE at Geeks for Geeks. Beside that, I'm also a candidate master and a 6 star. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Very good evening, Neeraj's lab. Hi, Silokis. So, can I have a quick one in the chat because in the last stream, few people had some issues with my audio. So, if is any issues persisting with my audio, make sure you just let me know. So, can I have a quick one in the chat if you're present in the stream itself? Let me just see the number of likes and then we would move forward with today's stream. So, let's see. Likes and then we would. So, can you quickly like the video? The number of likes is absolutely very less. Hi, Shyam Kumar Verma. Hi, Vishwant Thakur. Hi, Pratik Gua. Hi, Vikas. Audible. Hi, Sham Sundar. Okay, fair enough. And I missed something. Did I miss something? Class has started. No, you didn't miss something. You just missed my introduction. And if you already know me, then you didn't miss anything, to be honest. Okay, fair enough. So let's get started. Hi, Rohit Sai. How are you? Hi, Sonu. How are you? Okay, so let me just present my screen. Okay, so this one is the first problem that you would be solving, and this one would be the second problem you would be solving. And the link to that article is this one. Okay, so basically, as we keep progressing, these all links would turn into an hyperlink. Still, it is a text, and as we move forward gradually, this would all turn into. So, let me just turn off the video. Okay, fair enough. So you can connect with me. Hi Siddharth sir. Hi Sai Krishna Chau. Okay, fair enough. Now let's start with the very first class. So let me just present my screen. Uh, 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 uh. Stop the screen sharing. Share the whole screen itself, and we are good to go. Okay, so so let me just check if this is visible or not. Okay, fair enough. Let's start with the very first problem, that is intersection of two linked lists. What do you mean by linked list? Let us start itself with that. So see, linked list. So okay, the electricity came, so I can just quickly turn on the video. Stop sharing, turn on the video. I don't know why the electricity is creating a little bit of problem today, why it is tripping a lot. Okay, fair enough. So let us first understand what is a linked list. Okay, linked list, as the name suggests, is nothing but some data linked with each other. Okay, okay, let's say I have a friend. Okay, let's say this is me, Siddharth. This is my friend F1, and he knows a friend F2, and my F2 knows a friend F3. Okay, fair enough. So in the same manner, what we are told is we are told that we are given a linked list. This just means that we have a 2, and then we have a 3, and then we have a 4, and then we have a 5, and then we have a 6. Now there are some terminologies associated with linked list. What are the different terminologies? This is called as the head of the linked list. This is called as the, okay, this is called as the tail of the linked list. Okay, and this is named as pointer. Okay, so this is the simple definition of linked list. Linked list, the bookish definition would be linked list is a data structure. Okay, what is basically a linked list? Kindly write it down or take a screenshot if you are a little bit lazy. Okay, so linked list is a data structure where different nodes are connected to each other. What are nodes? Nodes are referred to these all values. They are referred to as nodes. Okay, so nodes, and they have a link with each other. Now there can be different type of links. Okay, here we can see that there is only one type of link, that is towards the right hand side. Okay, now it might be a scenario that we can also have something like this. Okay, we have two, okay, and then we have this, and then we have this, and then we have this. Okay, so this is known as what? This is known as doubly linked list. Why? Because इसमें double connections है. Okay, इसमें single connection है. So as the name suggests, this is nothing but a single linked list. Okay, now why is linked list different, and why linked list is considered to be important, and why do we need to study it differently? What are the difference between the conventional array and a linked list? The difference between the conventional array and the linked list is, let's say we have an array data structure. Okay, let's draw something like this. Yep. So in an array data structure, the elements are kept in the memory side by side. Like this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And we are also provided with the feature of something known as indexing. Okay, we are also provided with the feature of indexing itself. So we are given the first index, second index, and the third index itself. Okay, but here we don't have anything known as indexing. Okay, damn, I need to turn on my, okay, okay, I don't know. I think there is some kind of electricity shutdown at my place. Okay, fair enough. Let's start and move forward. I can't really help in this. Okay, so we don't have anything known as indexing at this position. We here we can say that we can directly go to the second index and we can find out the value, that is 3. Okay, but we can't really do it in the case of a linked list. Okay, we can't really do it. Why? Because the elements are linked with each other. Okay, now let us see something which needs to be understood. Now, most of the time you would be given the address of the head. Okay, and you can't directly jump from here to here. Okay, you need to go and jump to the next node and then jump to the next node. ओके, मतलब यहाँ हम लोग स्टार्ट ऐसे कर सकते हैं कि we would start from the first node and gradually we can move forward to the next nodes. Okay, fair enough. I think I made sense. Okay, so now the very next thing is, यहाँ पे इंडेक्सिंग नहीं होता. We can't directly jump. We need to start from it and we need to gradually move forward. Okay, but in an array we have the power known as indexing. So if I just sum up everything in Hindi, it would be, array में क्या होता है ना कि array में बगल बगल में मेमोरी में एलिमेंट्स रखे होते हैं. So मुझे पता है कि थर्ड इंडेक्स कैसे जाना है, फोर्थ इंडेक्स कैसे जाना है, फिफ्थ इंडेक्स कैसे जाना है. बट in a linked list the elements are linked with each other. So हमें वो linking respect करके ही आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. We can't directly jump to the fourth node, we can't directly jump to the third node. Okay, fair enough. So first tell me if this concept of linked list, what is head, what is tail, what is node, what is a pointer. What is basically a pointer? Pointer is that one which is showing the direction. Okay, what is a single linked list, what is a doubly linked list? I just explained everything in a layman's language so that I can move forward with the problems. After you're done with the problems, you can dive deep into this. As of now, for problem solving you won't require more than this theory. So now I would be waiting for a few minutes, for a few seconds, like 30 or 40 seconds. So tell me if I'm clear to this or no. Okay. Yep, Vishwanath Thakur, it's done. What are the real life applications of linked list? This is very important. Okay, anyone more? Anyone more? Like, quickly reply me with a one or zero. Okay, so now see, the real life application of linked list is the forward button. Okay, moving forward, moving backward. Okay, this is done by linked list. And the very next one is the image viewer. Okay, yes, Rahul Kumar gave a very good, like the playlist. Okay, so Vishwanath, I didn't receive a one from you now. Okay, storing images in a gallery. Yes, this is what I was talking about. Okay, fair enough. Cursor in a bootstrap. Yep. Okay. So there are few folks which are very good in development and they came here for acquiring some DSS skill. How many of you are like that? होते काफी होते हैं. Like oh, okay. So okay, so now just take 1 minute and just read the problem. I would just give you a minute. Okay, basically in this problem you are given two linked list and then you need to tell the intersection. What do you mean by intersection? There are two concepts related to the set theory. If you have learned in the class 10th, intersection and union. Okay. Oh no, again it came. Man, it's so frustrating. Okay. So when you're done with this problem, just quickly tell me. I think that they are fixing something out there. Okay, I'm not really very sure. They're fixing something in the society and they are doing it. When we don't want contiguous memory location, then we use something like linked list. Okay, so are you done with the problem? And there is one more thing to notice here. The thing to notice here is that the arrays are in the sorted form. Okay, I think you are done with the reading the problem because everyone is just laughing around. So आज क्या होगा यार आप लाइन में जाना यार is data structure important for coding? Yes, absolutely. Data structure is important for coding. like a partner is required in a relationship, in the same manner data structure is required for coding. Okay, like where would you keep your memories? Okay, with your partner. So in the same manner, you can visualize that. Let's say you coded an algorithm, so now you need some space to keep and process the data. So in the same manner, you use the data structures. Okay, fair enough. I think we are pretty good to move forward. Let me just copy out the test cases and then we can do it. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so let's just do it. By the way, I received yep. So now see, there are two linked lists. The very first one is one, and then it's two. Let's first understand about union and so let's first understand about union and intersection. Okay, what is union? Okay, so let's say we have some elements like 1 2 3 4, and we have some elements like 3 4 5 6. Okay, this is one unit of set and this is second union of set. This is, let's say, set A and this is set B. Okay, how do we represent union? Okay, we represent union in this format, just revising your concept. So A union B, and it would be all the unique elements from A and B. So it would be 1, then 2, and then 3, and then 4. Now we come across 3. 3 is already there, so we don't need it. Then we have 4. 4 we already have it, so we don't need it. 5 we don't have it, so we would write it down. 6 we don't have it, so we would write it down. So this is meant by union. What do you mean by intersection? Intersection are nothing but common elements. So what are the common elements? 3 and 4 are the common elements. So I would just write it. This is this is meant by distant, and this is oh yeah. This ruins the whole mood of teaching. Okay, let me just keep the audio on. If the electricity gets comfortable, then only I would keep the video on. Otherwise, I don't feel the confidence. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so now this is what is known as union and intersection. So now let us understand the question sample test case. So we are given that we have 1, then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and not 5, we don't have 5. And then after 4, we have the value as 6. Now we have the second linked list as 2, and then 4, and then 6, and then 8 itself. Okay, so now if you observe that 4 is present here also, here also, 2 is present here also, here also, 6 is present here, here, 4 is here and here, and 2 is here and here. So 246 is my answer. Okay, so basically we just need to print the intersection of that. So am I clear with the sample test case, like the how the output is popping up? What do you mean by intersection? What do you mean by union? What is the linked list? So am I clear to this point? Give me a quick one. Okay. हम्म, आज करंट हाइड एंड सीक खेल रहा है यार. डन. Bhaiya, you can turn off the video. Yep. Now, when I would talk, I would turn on the video. When I would explain, I would turn off the video so that I don't lose confidence. Okay. Is there a repetition of number? it is not mentioned that a repetition of number might be present. Okay, it is not mentioned here. So we would see how we are given. Okay, so is there many? No, it is not given. So we can just assume that all the elements are tested. Okay, भैया C++ स्टेप की जगह क्लास से लिंक लिस्ट बना सकते हैं ना? Yes, absolutely, absolutely, you can build up a class. Java C++ is a partner of DSA. No, it is not a partner of DSA. It's a very good player of DSA. Okay. So only common element should be in the output in the sorted form. Yes, absolutely. This is what we would do. How good we will get in 21 days. I have already discussed in lecture 1, but if you follow it religiously, I can say that if you were a complete beginner during the first day, after 21 days, you would be able to go out and solve problems on your own. And you would also have a habit. आज सब मजे ले रहे हैं ना सिर्फ लोल हाँ यही सवार है ना okay so where data structure is used and how to use it perfectly. Okay, so I would just give you a quick recap of everything. Okay, so if the size is fixed, if you know that I would require 10 unit of size, 12 unit of size, okay, then you should use arrays. Okay, if you want that I need to add elements in the front, if I need to add elements in the back, so then you need to use linked list. Okay, now if you want at like insertion from the back, insertion from the top, and addition from the back, then you need to select queue or stack. But yeah, it's more fun learning from you. Thank you so much, Gungun. Okay, so चलो चलते हैं आज आज कुछ ज्यादा फनी है okay, fair enough. So intersection of two sorted linked list तो देख लिया. So now how to solve it. Okay, so let's see the very first scenario. Okay, so when we had something like this, खेलने देते हैं इसको hide and seek, जाए तो जाए. Okay, fair enough. Now the very first thing what we need to do is we need to have the common elements. Okay, we need अरे यार bye 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 छोड़ दो. Let me just turn off the video, or else just keep the video here and that won't like this is not okay. Okay, fair enough. So we want the common elements. So the very first approach that comes to our mind is what we can do is we can see that we have two data structure. Okay, so we found out one. So what we can do is we can try to find one in the next linked list. Is it one? No. 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 Now we would go to the next number, that is 2. Is it 2? Yes, we found a value which is present. So we would write here 2. Then we would go to 3. Is 3 there? 3 यहाँ है, 3 यहाँ है, 3 यहाँ है. No, we don't have 3. Now we have 4. Okay. So we would go and find 4. ये 4 है? नहीं. This is 4? Yes, it is. That is why I have written 4 in my answer. Now we go to the last element, that is 6. This is 6? No. Oops. This is 6? No. This is 6? No. This is 6? Yes. That is why we have 6 in the output. Okay. Fair enough. So this is how what we can do is we can try to search each of the elements in the second array. जो हमें मिलता जाएगा, we would write it down, build a new linked list, and we would return it. So this is the most common approach that we can think of. So and we can the first basic approach that we think of is kind of named as brute force approach. Okay, the easiest one, brute force approach. So am I clear with this approach? Give me a quick 1 or 0. Just give me a quick 1 or 0 if I'm clear with this approach. बहुत दुख दे रहा भाई जीवन में. Okay, fair enough. So this is the very first approach. Now, let us see that how can we think of it? What is the time complexity of this? Okay, so now let's talk about the time complexity. Let's say I try to search 2 and 2 is present at the very last. Like, let's see this scenario. Okay, suppose we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And let's say we have, okay, no, let's, yep, 6. And then let's say we have another linked list which is 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now see, when we would be going to find C, okay, find 6, we would go to the first element, second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element, sixth element. So in the worst scenario, the element we are trying to find would reside in the last position. खराब से खराब क्या हो सकता है? ओके, हम एलिमेंट ढूंढ रहे हैं और वो सबसे लास्ट पोजीशन में बैठा हुआ है या फिर वो है ही नहीं. अगर वो है नहीं तो पूरा एरे पे, पूरा लिंक लिस्ट पे ही इटरेट करेंगे. सो if the size of this linked list is m, then for one element in the worst scenario we would be doing m operation. एलिमेंट ढूंढ रहे हैं, दिस इज इक्वल टू 6, 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 दिस इज इक्वल टू 6. Okay, so for one element we are doing m operation. So for n elements, why? Because the size of this is given as n. So for n elements we would be doing m cross n operation, but the intended time complexity is m plus n, and m plus n is much less than m multiplied by n. So this is not the correct approach. So we need a better solution. We need a better solution than this. What can be the better solution? Okay. So ये तो पता चल गया, the very first approach we thought of is not working here. We need a better solution. So what can be the better solution? What can be the better solution? So let's just write everything we have. Okay, like detectives do in a films, what we have and what we can do. Okay, so what we have a sorted linked list, LL, sorted linked list, and then we have a two sorted linked list, and then we need to return common element. Okay, and both are sorted. Okay, so what we can do something like this: 1, and then this is 2, and then this is 3. Let's say, let's take the elements in this fashion. We have 1, then we have 3, and then we have 5, and then we have 7, and then we have, let's say, 3, and then we have 6, and then we have the 7 itself. Okay, so at this point, okay, at this point, if you observe, what we can do is we can take out 2 pointers. Okay, we can take out 2 pointers, one for 1 and 3. So we know, okay, let's understand this. We know that 1 is less than 3. Okay, so ये वाला element is less than this element. So ये वाली एलिमेंट अगर इससे बड़ी है तो ये वाली एलिमेंट किस साइड रिसाइड करेगी? ये वाले एलिमेंट राइट हैंड साइड रिसाइड करेगी. व्हाई? बिकॉज इफ वी मूव ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड द वैल्यू वुड इंक्रीज. सपोज हमें 3 चाहिए बट हमारे पास है 1 एंड वी नीड अ ग्रेटर वैल्यू बिकॉज 3 तो 1 से ज्यादा है. तो अगर हमें ग्रेटर वैल्यू चाहिए और यहाँ 3 है, यहाँ 1 है, और मुझे पता है 3 1 से ज्यादा है, तो अगर हमें ग्रेटर वैल्यू चाहिए तो हमें इस वाले को आगे मूव करना चाहिए, दैट साइड ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड, because if we move on the right hand side the value would definitely increase. So now what we can do is, what we need to do is, we would keep 3 at its position. 3 जैसा है वैसा ही रहेगा, वो अच्छा बच्चा है. Then we would move to this value, that is this one. Now we have both of them as equal. If both of them are equal, then we would take one value out of them. So we would write here 3. अब दोनों इक्वल मिल गए, so we need to move forward both. Okay, because दोनों का काम हो गया, simple. Because दोनों का काम हो गया, simple. Okay, so now the pointer would reside at this and at this. Now again we have 6, but on the above we have 5. So we need 6, we have 5. So we should move on the right hand side to increase the value. So we would move on the right hand side to increase the value. Now we have 6 and we have 7. Okay. This time the bottom pointer is less. अगर bottom pointer less है, so to make it big, to make it equal to the above pointer, we should also move it to the right. अगर ऊपर के साथ किया तो नीचे के साथ ना इंसाफी क्यों भाई? ये लिंक लिस्ट, ये if this linked list we are moving everything forward, then what wrong this linked list 2 has done? He is also a good child. Okay, ये भी अच्छा बच्चा है. So we should also move this forward. So we would move forward this one. Now both are equal. मिल गया हमें. So we would make 7 as this one. Now both are equal, so we should move forward both of them. Okay, so we would move forward to this point and we would move forward to this point. Now you would ask, Siddharth, no element does exist at this, but still you are pointing at this. What do you mean by this? So in a linked list, after the last node, this position is referred to as the null point. Okay, this is referred to as the null point. Okay, this is referred to as the null point. So you can see how we did find 2, 3 and 7 was our common element, and we were able to derive 3 and 7 out of it. So हम लोग, the algorithm would be such, let us just revise the algorithm in Hindi. क्या होगा कि हम लोग एक पोजीशन से स्टार्टिंग के एक पोजीशन से शुरू करेंगे. So we would keep one pointer here, one pointer here. If whichever pointer is less, we would move forward it to right because right में value बढ़ेगी. So if it is less, we would move that pointer. If it is more, we would like एक ना एक कम ज़्यादा होगा, so we would move that accordingly. अगर if L2's value is less than L1, so we would move forward L2. If L1's value is less than L2, so we would move forward L1. If both are equal, that is L1 is equal to L2, then both would increase, L1 plus plus and L2 plus plus. Okay, so now tell me if this approach made sense to you or not. Give me a quick yes or no to this. But sir, this works only if the list is already sorted. Yes, the list is already sorted. It is given there. Okay, intersection of two sorted linked lists. In the question only it is mentioned that it would be sorted. Please repeat once again. Can't explain. I have already repeated the same thing in Hindi. Am I clear to you, Shashi Kumar? Tejashwani, am I clear to you? The last minute I just repeat it with Hindi. See, मैं फिर से बताता हूँ. We would start from the front. If this is small, we would move forward this. If this is small, we would move forward this. If both are equal, we would move both of them. Simple explanation यही है. If you want to summarize two-pointer approach, we have to use this. Yep. Once again, repeat. Shashi Kumar, repeat again. So Tejashwini, make sure you keep a chocolate ready for me. आपके लिए अलग से explicitly explain किया. Okay, fair enough. Now the very next thing is, what is the time complexity? Okay, So here you don't need to do much. Okay. Here finding out the time complexity is a little bit easy, but you need to understand. See, we are visiting each element exactly once. Okay. Let's take the scenarios. I was studying in class 12th. I was able to surpass the examination of class 12th. So I would never look back and take admission in class 12. So the number of times I am visiting class 12th, if I'm able to pass, is just one. So in the same manner, if you observe, we are visiting each node exactly once. Why? Because every time we are moving forward, we are not moving backward. ओके, हम लोग लाइफ में आगे ही बढ़ रहे हैं, और आइदर इट इज स्टॉपिंग एट दैट पोजीशन, आइदर हम लाइफ में एक ही जगह है या आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, पीछे नहीं जा रहे हैं. Okay, so in the same manner, if you observe, either one pointer is residing at its place or one pointer is moving forward, but it is never going backward. So we are visiting each node exactly once. So the time complexity would be the total number of nodes. मैं हूं ना शशि कुमार, मैं बता देता हूँ. KMP algorithm is a pattern searching algorithm on string. Okay, you can learn about it, but if you are a beginner, I won't recommend it. जब हम उसको इंक्रीमेंट और इक्वल है तो दोनों करेंगे बस. Yep, sure. Okay. So now let's start the coding part. And we would focus very less on this electricity thing. I can't really do anything about it, but the only thing I can do is just ignore, and the show must go on. Okay, this is a live class, more than 70 people. I can't ditch 70 people just because of electricity. So I need to move forward, to be honest. Okay. Otherwise, itne pe I would have skipped. But this is a live class where people are waiting. Okay. Fair enough. Now let's start with the very first problem. Earlier you said you like dark mode. Yep, I like dark mode because every, like, after sitting like for 2 hours, like I came from office at around 7. I saw the problems, did my workout, and then I again went back to this stream itself. Again, I am facing a lot of lights and all. So I don't like bright lights when I'm in my personal life. Okay, fair enough. Let's start with the very first one. So, what we need to do is, I don't want to write head 1 again and again, head 2 again and again. So, I would just write h1 and h2. Okay, or let's just write p1 and p2. Okay, or let's just write l1 and l2 because I have used l1 and l2 in my explanation. Okay, l1 and l2 in my explanation. So, now what I would do is, I would need one more empty I would need one more empty linked list. Okay, so now let's do it. So node star head, I would start with that with a null. Okay, initially it is null. Okay, now I would say while L1 is not equal to null and L2 is not equal to null. L2 is not equal to null. Okay, while both are not null. So now we would say if, like, let's find out the value. So L1 L1 data, okay, L1 data is equals to L1 dash data. Okay, so that you would understand. L2 data is equals to L2 dash data. What is this? Okay, this is to just find out the value of the element. So I would just write it here. To find the value, we use something like the current node dash data. To find out the next node, okay, to find out the next, what we do is node dash next. Okay, so just remember it. Okay, So I want the value of the node, so I just found out the value of the node. Now I would say if L1 data is less than L2 data, okay, if the first one is small, so this one should go further. So I would say L1 is equal to L1 dash next. L1 को आगे बढ़ाओ भैया, ओके, L1 आगे बढ़ा दिया. Now else if L2 dash data is less than L1 dash data, then L2 should move forward. जो छोटा है वो आगे बढ़ेगा. L2 is equals to L2 dash next itself. Now the last condition would be nothing but what? When L1 data is equal to L2 data. At this, what should we do? We should move both the pointers. So एक पॉइंटर मूव किया, दूसरा पॉइंटर मूव किया. Okay, I am moving both the pointers. Okay, but before moving, I want to save the data in this head thing. Okay, so now the very first thing is, if the node is null, we would create a node. Okay, now let me just explain you this also. What is this all about? Initially we have a blank linked list. Okay, we have a blank linked list. This is blank. Okay, so first we need to create a node. Okay, we need to create a node, and then after the creation, this node's next I can simply assign. ओके, पहले हम लोग वो नोड क्रिएट करेंगे, उसके बाद वी कैन से कि हाँ भैया आपके बाद वो है, आपके बाद वो है. बट पहले देखो, इट्स जस्ट लाइक दिस सिनेरियो दैट आई हैव अ फ्रेंड एंड देन माय फ्रेंड हैज अ फ्रेंड, बट फर्स्ट आई शुड एग्जिस्ट ना. So in the same manner, the very first time I need to make myself into existence. Okay, first is creation and then we move forward. So I would say if head is equals to null, okay, then I would say head is equals to, I would just take a tail also, node star tail is equals to null. So I would move forward the tail and head would remain at the same position. Okay, tail को ही आगे बढ़ाएंगे, head would remain. Okay, so if the head has not been initialized, मैं अगर exist नहीं करता, so I would say head and tail is equals to नया node बनाओ. Okay, make a new node. Okay, new node of what? कोई भी ले लो, L1 data or L2 data, both are same. If it is not new, अगर मैं एग्जिस्ट करता हूं तो मेरे बाद मेरा फ्रेंड एग्जिस्ट करेगा. So in the same manner, I can say that tails next is equal to new node. Okay, अब मेरा फ्रेंड भी एग्जिस्टेंस में आ गया. Okay, that is L1 data. Let's take the same thing, either of the data. Okay, tails next is equals to this. अब टेल्स का नेक्स्ट हो गया, टेल के बाद भी कुछ एलिमेंट बाकी है, तो हमें टेल को आगे बढ़ाना होगा ताकि टेल सबसे एंड में रहे. देयर एग्जिस्ट सम एलिमेंट्स आफ्टर टेल. So see, this tells us that we made a new element after tail, but tail should be there in the last. So I need to move forward the tail by one position. So tail is equals to tail dash next itself. At the end, we need to return the head of the link, intersected linked list. So we would return the head. Now let us just compile and run and see how many errors are we making. Okay, so now according to the explanation, I did the same thing. I would share you the code. Now tell me at what line you are not able to understand. If you're not understanding any syntax, consider skipping this. Okay, consider skipping. Put the common value and then move. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so सर डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स पार्ट में दिक्कत आती है, क्या करे कैसे? You don't need to do data structure, you need to remember the choice of data structure. Okay, data structure is just like the utensil. Okay, if you want to understand data structure, it is just like the utensil. Every utensil has their own perks. Like if I want to fry anything, I would require a kadhai. If I want to if I want to make chapati, I would require a belan and the next thing. Okay, belan chakki or something, I don't know. Okay, put the common thing, sir, Java. Okay, the Java code would be very same thing. Like let me just show you the Java code also. The Java code would also be the same. See, this is the Java code, same. See, this is the Java code, the same. If p1 is not equal to null, if this is greater, this is greater. Here, instead of arrow based function, we use dot. Other than this, it is very similar. Okay. So, sir, else part, head, tail, node, thoda concept, please again. Okay, this is my job. I would do it. Any more? Do we don't need to do tail dot next if condition? 105 line. Okay, 105 line. Okay. Okay, first let me tail node concept not clear again. Head else head part tail node concept not clear again. Please repeat it again. Okay, I would repeat it again. Okay, I think so. I have not shared my whole screen. Yep, I have not shared my whole screen. So let me just share the whole screen itself. Okay, so see this. What is this all about? So initially we have a blank. Okay, initially we have a blank. Like this is a linked list. Okay, this is a linked list. Initially this value is equal to null. Okay, so I won't take L1. I would take this as head. Okay, so initially we have a head, something like this. Okay, so initially we have a head. So now I want to make a linked list like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what I would first do, I can't keep null in the front. So I would cross out this null and I would say 1. Okay. Then after that, I would say this is also equal to something known as tail. Okay. Now we have, now we want to add 2. So what we would do, once next, tails next is equal to new node 2. Now we need to move the tail to this part because tail हम क्या चाहते हैं, I want to keep the tail in the last part. Okay, now I want to add 3. Okay, so what I want to do, I would create a new node and I would say tail, your next is 3. Now tail should move forward so that it is at the last position. So I would remove this tail and I would keep the tail here. That is why when head is null, we are making a new node. When and we are making that as tail. Now, when we are adding something to the linked list, we are first creating a node, making tails next is equal to that node, and we are creating a node. And we are moving forward the tail. Now, do I make sense? Give me a quick yes or no. Okay. So we would build the class and node each time we deal with the related problem. Should we build a class of linked list node in each time we deal with the problem linked list data structure? No, it is not mandatory. Like there are many problems which require you not to build a new linked list. You need to iterate, like you need to modify the old linked list. Like we would see a new problem where the next problem is reverse a linked list, and it can be done easily by making a new linked list, but we need to reverse the original given linked list. Bro, oops concept कैसे strong करे? Uh, Understand with examples. If you're not able, like I always try to understand every data structure in the algorithm with the help of example. Like you would see in my teaching also, I use a lot of example so that people are able to retain it for a longer period of time. अगर मैंने डेटा स्ट्रक्चर का अगर मैंने डेटा स्ट्रक्चर का एक्सप्लेनेशन रिलेशनशिप के एस्पेक्ट में दे दिया, you would be able to retain it for a longer period of time. You would know the importance of data structure. Sir, I'm always able to solve a problem on GFG portal. I code in Java programming, good at it, but I get problem to set which algorithm I can solve. Can you guide me in this? Yes, absolutely. I can guide you in this. The first problem is, just confirm this. You do a lot of topic wise solving. Okay, that is why you face this. Do you do a lot of topic wise solving? Just confirm this, Nikhil Jadhav. Okay. So I'm always talking maintaining consistency in practice. You need to work hard on yourself. I can't bring consistency in you. This is your personal choice. How desperately you want it. Okay. Sir, can you explain how to create node in Java? Yeah, sure. I would explain. This is very easy. Mhm. Okay. So see, creating a new node in Java, you can just refer at the documentation that is given here. Just refer the class or the struct that is given, node class. You would see new node, and if I just give it a value, it would assign a value and it would make the next as null. That is why here just made new node and give it a value. So this is behaving like a constructor. Just understand the concept of oops and you would be able to understand it. Okay, just understand the concept of oops, learn what is constructor, learn what is inheritance, learn what is encapsulation, learn all of this, then come back and then you won't ask me and thank me later if you're able to conquer it on your own. सर कौन सी प्रोग्रामिंग में अप्लाई कर सकते हैं जो इजी हो? Like stack queues, priority queue, they are available in C++ and as well as Java. Okay, so you can't really skip data structure. Like the easiest one is C++ because I am accustomed to it. Discuss space and time complexity. This time space complexity would be how much? It might be a scenario that every element is a distinct element. Suppose the first linked list has 1, 2, 3, 4, and the next linked list has 5, 6, 7, 8. So all the elements. So the space complexity would be big O of m plus n. सारे elements ही हमें consider करने पड़ेंगे in the answer. What is time complexity? We are visiting each element exactly once. We are not revisiting a particular element again. So it is big of n. Big of n plus n. Can we solve the same problem with nested loops? Yes, you can. The time complexity would be n cross n. Yes, I always try but fail again. Yep, that is the problem with you. Like, this is a very famous problem people do encounter. Let me just address it loud and clear. So, let me just, yep, see, this happens a lot. Like, you are able to solve a lot of problem in an online judge. Okay, but when you go back to real solving, you're not able to solve problems. This happened to me once. Okay, this happens to most of the coders out there. The problem is, suppose you learned about stack, you solved 20 problems of stack and that is enough. But when we were solving the 20 problems of stack, you already knew that stack needs to be used here. Okay, you already know this. So next time when you see a new problem and no one tells you that this problem is of stack, you are not able to detect that this problem is of stack or not. So detection of the algorithm and the data structure is the most important aspect in data structures and algorithms. So do topic wise solving, but less, more problem solving, more random solving, less problem solving. Okay, less topic wise solving. Okay, because अगर मैं पहले से ही बता दूं this question needs to be solved using linked list, then it would be very easy for you. You would only think in terms of linked list or you would only think in terms of stack. But when you would sit for an online assessment for a company, there won't be mentioned. Your interviewer won't mention that this problem is of stack, kindly solve it using stack. The interviewer would never say this. So just use your rational brain and try to suppress your topic wise solving and try to increase the number of random solving. Is 30 days enough for the whole DSA if we give our 100% time to it? To be honest, you can't really give your 100% time on it. Why? Because you need to sleep, you need to move, you need to eat, you need to have a personal life, you need to smile a bit, and you need to waste your time a bit. So you won't be able to give 100% time on it. But I can say that if you give the maximum output for around 1 year, you would be very good at coding. Very good. And I'm telling you with my experience. Can you explain the presence of and an operator instead of or and or? So this is and operator, and this the next one is or and or. Okay. So now let's move to the last problem. Stop the screen sharing. I would share the link to the page to the last problem. Reverse a linked list. Okay. Learned about and or not. And or not और जोर भी पढ़ लेना माउंट तारा. But then that means that the first list does not have any more intersection. Like, okay, I'm stuck in the problem for a year. As per suggestion, I will start to move center. Okay, if you're able to solve problems on your own, consider thanking me. At least give me a thank you so that I would be able to know that if my suggestion is working for just me or for everyone else. But people have tried and they have came and thanked me. Okay, so now take your time to understand and read the problem, and then we would quickly solve the problem in the next few minutes. Quickly digest the problem. This is the link to the problem, and this is the problem statement. Basically, you need to reverse the linked list. You can at least think of the brute force relation. Most welcome, Sham Sundar. Sir, DSA concepts. Sir, thank me when you are able to get help from me. So please clear this problem once and for all. GFG, please clear this problem once and for all. What problem do you have, bro? क्या दुख है आपको? ब्रेकअप हो गया? सुने, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? Okay, sir, college DSA concepts are more theoretical. How can I learn DSA concepts? Problem solving interview, please suggest, sir. So, to be honest, I would just tell you this. I was the most lame person in my whole college who knew very less theory. Okay, like I didn't knew the theoretical definition of most of the data structures and algorithms, and they used to ask me a lot of theories and all, and I was considered the most outdated person who is not interested in studying. But I used to solve a lot of problems. I used to do a lot of CP. So as of now, still, if your curriculum is still focused on theoretical knowledge, as of now, skip it because theoretical knowledge would be needed when you would be sitting for interviews. But before sitting for interviews, you have online assessment to crack, and for cracking that online assessment, you need problem solving. So solve a lot of problems instead of focusing on theoretical concepts. It is the most sought after problem in DSA. क्या प्रॉब्लम बताओ तो सर. Okay, so okay, he's talking to someone else. Okay, fair enough. So if you're done reading about the problem, quickly tell me. This is very easy. Just talking about like apart from this, like today you were able to see on the front end that I too face issues like electricity cut and all. So by the way, I face many issues like this on the back end. Sometimes I am out there, like I okay, clear example. Okay, so many a times it happens that sometimes I'm out there with my friends, and I thought that I would come at 8 and I would start the stream, but due to some reasons I got late. So at that point of time, I need to rush a hell lot and keep it on time. Okay, what would the breed force to it? If I remember, so that would work. Okay, would say to it. Now let's just see for ourselves क्या किया जा सकता है. हम्म, ओके, चलो देखते हैं. Okay, so now see the very first sample test case. Okay, so now we see that we have one, two, three, four, five, and six. So the reversal of this linked list. Let me just see if I'm visible or not. X. So the, let me just see if I'm visible or not. Okay, fair enough. So now we need to reverse the linked list. Reversal means what? Like this. If we just reverse it. Okay. So 6 would come here. Okay, let me just write it down first. So now the reversal would be nothing but 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now see, the last element became the first element. Okay, the second last element became the second element. The third last ये इसको जाने देते हैं. Okay, the third last element became the third last. So this one became the third. The second element became the second last, and then the first element became the last element. Okay, this is how I can say that this is how the strings are reversed. And the very first thing I can think of is what I can do is I would build up a new linked list. Okay, what I can do is I can simply take a value as null. Okay, I can simply take a value as null, and then I would say 1. Okay, so first, then I would go to 1, then I would go to 2, then I would go to 3, then I would go to 4, then I would go to 5, then I would go to 6. Okay, and as we progress we would keep that in an array. क्या करूँगा, array बना दूंगा. Okay, now see what I can do. See, linked list हमारे पास है. We are given a linked list. If we are given a linked list, that doesn't mean that we only have the linked list. Okay, let's say like I used to do a lot. Okay, like I still used to, I like still do it. Like let's say I have a little bit awful uh, so-called sabji in my vegetable. Okay, of vegetables, green vegetables. Like I don't really like green vegetables, I'm not really a fan, but I do take it. So what I can do is, if my mom has cooked green vegetables, it doesn't really mean that I need to eat it. I have some other alternatives too. I make sure that my mom doesn't see it. So I have some other alternatives too. So it's in the same manner, if we are given a linked list, that doesn't mean that we don't have any other data structures. So what we can do is we can take a array list in Java, or we can take a vector in C++ or a list in Python. Okay, and then what we can do is we can iterate till the last element. How we would iterate? We would start from the head. Heads next is null. No. So we would keep it. Then we would go to the next element. We would keep it. We would go to the next element. Keep it. 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 Now, if we have the same thing in the array list or vector, then this question is nothing but reverse array, array, which is a very basic problem. Okay, so what we can do is we can convert this into array list, vector, or list, and then we can simply reverse the values. After reversing the values in this array or linked list or vector, like let us first understand, let's understand the small concept of reversing the array elements. Suppose we have 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, if this is an if this is an array, dynamic sized array is known as all this. So if we have an array, we would have indexing also. We would be blessed with the power of indexing. So this is indexing 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. We have the size also. Size of the array is 6. So we know the size, we have the indexing. Now what we can do is we can take two pointers here. Okay, we can take two pointers, one pointer here, one pointer here, and then we can swap the values. And what we can do is we can swap this with 1, we can swap this with 6. Then we would make this pointer go here, make this as 2, make this as 5. Then we would go the pointer here and here, then make this as 4 and make this as 3. By doing this, we can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 is now converted to 6 5 4 3 2 1. What is the code for this? The code for this is also a little bit easy. Let me just quickly code it also. Reverse an array. Okay. Reverse an array. चलो चलते हैं. So we would be given the size as n. Okay. So now what we would do is we would initialize two loops, left and right. Left would be at the first element, which is 0. Left will be at the first element. Right would be at the last element, which is n minus 1, because array are 0 indexed. So right is equals to n minus 1. Okay, right is equals to n minus 1. And we kept doing it until they became side by side. So we would say while left is less than right. Okay, so now we would say swap a of L with a of R. Okay, now left side should go here, so L plus plus, right should come here, that is R minus minus. After this you would have the reversed array itself. Okay, do I make sense? Reversal of array. Okay, and then you can simply put all the elements back to a new linked list, or the old, you can edit the old linked list. पुराने को भी edit कर सकते हो और नए को भी edit कर सकते हो. Okay, so do I make sense, Arun? Arun, do I make sense to you? How much time is required for a complete DSA for an on-campus placement? It entirely depends on the number of hard work you put on and your desperation and how much time you are wasting. So it entirely depends. But if you are a hardworking person and if you have worked really hard, it would take around 6 months. Okay, we need to put themselves in the list. Thank you so much, Nikhil. Why do we need to traverse the array? We can only travel it backward. No, 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 no. सिर्फ आगे का पॉइंटर है. We don't have the pointer backward. We are given a singly linked list. Singly linked list में सिर्फ आगे जाने का रास्ता है, वापस नहीं आ सकते. Okay, ये भूल भुलैया है. You can only move forward. You can't move backward. Okay, that is why we are just counting the size itself. Okay, we can't move backward in a simple linked list. Okay, so done, Ashish Kumar. Okay, let me just explain you this also because someone thought that this has a proper point to this. Okay, so why do we need to travel? Okay, we can only travel it backward. A cunning approach. Okay, a cunning approach. Yep. Okay, so you're talking about array. Okay, you're talking about array. Yep, this is a cunning approach. So now let me just tell you this also. So I was teaching you what reversal of an array. Okay, so you need to reverse the original array. Okay, so you if you need to reverse the array, then you need to follow my algorithm. That is this one, which I taught you. But if you only need the values, like if it is told reverse the array and print the values, so what you can do is you can simply start traversing from the backwards. A good one, traverse from back. Like I forgot to mention this, we can simply traverse from back in this question, but I was just trying to append a small bit of concept to this. That is why reversal of an array, editing the original array is also done, and we can also traverse from the back if we just only need the elements. Good one. Who was this person? Ashish, I think so. I remember the names. Ashish, good one. Okay. But sir, what if we are using struct for linked list instead array? What if we are using struct for linked list instead array? Struct for linked list. Struct and class is used for linked list. Okay. Array can't be used for linked list. Array implementation of linked list are how to combine collections from Java and CP. If you are able to do this, consider sharing with me also. Because I don't know a method to just combine the powers of both. If there would have been a language which would have the powers of both, that is Java and C++, I would be the very first one to jump. Okay, so now let's talk about the next idea. So let's say you gave this idea to the interviewer. Your interviewer is impressed. Okay, your interviewer is impressed, and now he asked you, what is the time and space complexity? Okay, what is the time and the space complexity? So you would say, see sir, I had array list of size of the element. So this would contribute big O of n to the space. Okay, then I edited the original linked list, so that won't take space. So I would say that the space complexity is big O of n. Okay, so can you tell me the time complexity of this problem? Yes, sure. What I would do is, I would, this is how you need to reply to your interviewer. Okay, what you need to do is, I'm traversing each element once, finding out the size. Okay, then again, I am keeping not finding out the size. I can just start. I'm traversing all elements, keeping that in the array. Okay, then I am reading the elements from backwards, and then I'm again keeping it back. So I am traversing the array 2 or 3 times roughly. So ignoring the constant, the time complexity would be big O of n. These are the time and the space complexity, sir. The interviewer is impressed. He would tell me, Siddharth, this is fine, your solution is correct, and it would give you an AC. But let's say I want to lower down the space complexity. Or he won't directly tell you about space complexity. He would tell you, Siddharth, can you further optimize this solution? Can you further optimize this solution? Okay, further optimization karo Siddharth. So now what you need to do is you need to fake it a little bit even though you know it. Why? Because fake it till you make it. Okay, now you would say, sir, the problem is that I'm copying all the elements in an array and then I'm editing the original string. So If somehow I can edit the original string, if somehow I can edit the original string, edit the original string. If somehow I can edit the original string without using an auxiliary data structure, without using, don't extra mat bol dena, auxiliary bolna. Use the term known as auxiliary data structure. Without the usage of auxiliary data structure, and the space complexity would be constant, so I can narrow down the space complexity. Okay, Siddharth, how to do it then? Now, let us see this. Mhm. Okay, okay, Siddharth, your idea seems fine, but how would you do it? Let's say we have a very simple linked list as just 1 and 2. The reverse of this would be what? The reverse of this would be 2 and 1. How we are doing this? So, if you observe that we are just reversing the links here, here the link was like this. Here the link was like this, but here from 2 it is emerging. Okay, okay. So let's say if I just do this reversal, okay, अगर मैं elements भी swap कर दूं, still that won't work, because from 1 we are going to 2, but here from 2 we are going to 1. Okay, so can't we do something like this? What I can do is I would take the head, okay, because we are only given the access to the head. I would take the head, okay, that is 1. I would keep it somewhere, okay. I would take this 1, I would keep it, I would keep it somewhere, okay. Then we would move forward to 2. I would keep it somewhere. Now try to think in direction. Try to think in this direction without using any auxiliary data structure. Just have 1 and 2. Okay, just have 1 and 2 here, and then try to think how we can do it. Just try to think. If I just have 1 and 2, just try to reverse the connection. Then tell me. I would be just waiting for a minute or so. Let me just check out the comments also. Okay. Okay. We can add the element in a new linked list from that form. If we add the element in a new linked list, the space complexity of new auxiliary data structure would still be big O of n. What is the review of CIP course of GFG? We need to take it or not. If you talk about in terms of DSA, I think as far as I observed, it is the best course for placement. Best course for placement. We can use 3 pointers and do it. How can you use collections while serializability? Maintain a previous pointer, move along the list, change to previous for decreasing term complexity. We are able to perform the external sort. Yep, kind of use this idea. Rishabh Jain, very close to the solution. We can add the element in. No, this is not done. By the way, good try, Poonam Chare. Okay, So now let us see this, how we can do this thing. What we can do is we can reverse this up. Okay. Now let us see how we can really reverse it. So I would keep here the temp. Okay, I would keep here the head. Okay. For initially head is good enough. Then I would go to this head. And now I would tell that first I would remember the past. Okay, this is the previous pointer. Okay, so I would have a previous pointer and a head. And I would just reverse the connection. Why am I reversing the connection and how am I getting the intuition of it? I found out that 2 to 1. So if I just reverse the condition, then it would be very true. So what I would do is I would make this head point to previous. I would make this head point to the previous element and I would remove this. Okay, and this would be done. Now let's do the same thing for 3 elements now, and it would make more sense to you. And then we would do it for 5 elements. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we would have a head here. We would have a previous pointer, which would be just before the head. Okay, and we would also have a next pointer, that is this one. Okay, which would be walking in front. Let's take 3 pointers. 2 pointers are required, but let's take 3 pointers. Okay, now what we would do is we would make heads next as what? As previous. So now heads next would become previous. Okay, heads next would become previous. Now I would, now this head, if I move forward to this head would make me move to 1, but I don't want that. But I don't want that. Okay, see, अब head किस तरफ point कर रहा है? See, now if I do heads next, अब अगर if I ask head what is your next element, it would tell me Siddharth, 1 is my next element. 1 is my next element. Okay, so that is why we need a next pointer here. So now what we would do is we would remove this head and we would say next, you are now my head, and next kindly move forward. Okay, and previous, you become the head. Okay, now again the same scenario. Heads next would be equal to previous, so I would remove this one. Heads next would become previous. Okay, heads next is becoming previous. Now head would be equal to next. So now head would be equal to next. Next would move forward. Now head is at the null position. So now let me write down the algorithm and this would be more clear. Let's say we again have, like this would take some time to understand. Let's say we again have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 elements now. This time समझ में आ जाएगा. What are the things we require? We require, is my board visible? What are the things we require? We require. अब देखो, अब देखो मजा. Okay, see, the very first thing what we would do is we would keep here as head, here as next, and here as previous. Okay, fair enough. अब क्या होगा? The very first step is, remember, I'm just writing on the steps here. Okay, the very first step is make heads next is equal to previous. This is the first step. So make heads next as the previous. So make this heads next as the previous element. Okay, fair enough. Now the next step is, now the very next step is, okay, previous would become head. Previous is equal to head. So that previous would come forward. So previous would come at this position. Okay. Now the very next thing that we need to do is head is equal to next. Okay. So head would be equal to next. So now he would say head would become next. And next would move forward. Next needs to move forward. Okay. So now I would say what the fourth thing that you need to do is nothing but next is equal to next of next. That is just move forward. Okay. Now see, again we would do the same thing. Heads next is equals to previous. So heads next is equals to previous. Let's follow the same step. Heads next equal to previous. Heads next is equals to previous. Done. Previous is equals to head. So previous is equal to head. Now previous is equals to next. So this one would become previous. And next would move forward. So next would come here. Now again let us do. So this one would be what? This one would be head. Sorry. This one would be head. So now heads next is equals to previous. So heads next is equals to previous. Previous is equals to head. So previous would come here. Head is equals to next. So instead of this would become head. Okay. Next would move forward. So next would come here. Now head is equal to null. So this would stop. Now if you observe, we are having 1, 2, 3, 5 in the reverse. So we are able to reverse the linked list. So just quickly take a screenshot of this and do the dry run in the same manner so that you don't need to remember the 4 steps. Okay, because if you would try to memorize the 4 step, you won't build out the logic by yourself. If a little bit different variation is given, you won't be able to solve it. So consider understanding it instead of mugging this up. I can easily take an example and I can easily make you memorize these all 4 steps. But I won't do that. Consider writing 1, 2, 3, 5 in pen and paper and doing it for yourself. कैसे हम लोग चल रहे हैं? Just remember that एक previous head और next होता है. Previous head next के through हम लोग कर सकते हैं. हम लोग बस previous next के through नचा सकते हैं. Okay? So now I think you have taken a screenshot. So now I'll just take the review that I'm clear or not. I have been speaking for the last 1.5 hours. So quickly give me a 1. Okay, so could we traverse over the linked list and then add a pointer backward to make the double linked list on the tail? Yes, we can do it, but the number of traversal would be 2 times. Okay, so if you do this would be still a correct solution. But let's say your interviewer is telling you that kindly traverse once and don't use any extra space. That is why I'm directly jumping on to the most optimized one. Explained very well. So can you explain again Yep, sure. Doing it explicitly for keep smiling. नाम अच्छा है. Okay. So now, hi auntie, how are you? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, fair enough. Let me just share my screen itself. उतना बुरा लगता हूँ क्या यार? सर सर मत बुलाओ, लोग आंटी बुला अंकल बुलाने लगते हैं. Okay, let's just do a quick recap. Like, let's take four elements. Okay, so we have one, two, three, and then four. Okay, so now let's do the same thing again. So we would take a previous pointer. Okay, we would take a head pointer and we would take a next pointer. Okay, so first, heads next is equals to previous. So we would make this go here. Okay, heads next is equals to previous. Done one. Then previous is equals to the head. Okay, so previous is equals to the head. Then head is equals to the next. Then next would move forward. So next would come here. Okay, now again, heads next is equals to previous. So heads next is equals to previous. Okay, previous is equals to the head. So this one would become previous. Head would become the next. Okay, and next would move forward. So by doing this, last or iteration khud kar lo. I hope you can do it. This is how we are doing it. If I just try to sum up everything in a small context, it is very easy. क्या करना है? पहले हेड को लेना, हेड को पिछला वाले पे लिंक कर दो. ठीक है, अब हेड क्योंकि पिछले वाले से लिंक हो गया, तो हेड का सामने वाला लिंक तो खो गया. तो हेड को बोलो चुपचाप नेक्स्ट के पास चले जाओ, उसे आपकी डायरेक्शन याद है. ओके, अब हेड यहां जाने से पहले प्रीवियस को भी तो आगे बढ़ाना होगा ना, हम लोग प्रीवियस को भूल नहीं सकते हैं. सो मेक श्योर यू मेक प्रीवियस बिफोर हेड. Am I clear? Keep smiling. By the way, she is my friend. I was just kidding with her. I generally don't say this in stream. Okay, I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. Okay, don't laugh, yeah. Okay, when we take the next of the head, in which side of the element? Okay, when we take the next of the head, see, we made head point to the previous element. So if we take next of head, it would point to that element, because head का next का जो connection था वो तो खो गया ना. From these three pointers, which pointer would contain the new head? Okay, so which pointer would contain the new head? Okay, this is very interesting. हम लोग लास्ट पर जहां पहुंच जाएंगे वो हमारा न्यू हेड हो गया, क्योंकि सबकी डायरेक्शन इधर इधर है. सो फ्रॉम यहां से ही हम लोग सबकी डायरेक्शन इधर इधर प्रोपागेट कर रही है. जहां पर लास्ट रुकेंगे दैट वुड बी आवर हेड. स्क्रीन में डॉट्स दिक्कत दे रही है. ओके, आई वुड रिमूव द डॉट्स आल्सो. Remove the dots. Okay, fair enough. Now let's move to the coding part. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so the very first thing is we would, okay, just let me turn on the light of this one also. Which one is this? Keyboard brightness. Yep, this one. Yep. So now I can see my keyboard. Okay. So node star rev is equals to the head. Now we would have node star tail. Okay, that is next nxt is equals to again the head. Okay, and then we would take node star tmp, that is previous. Okay, node star pv, previous. Now, okay, first what we would do, head is equals to head dash next. So that head mid वाले पोजीशन पे आ जाता है. Okay, अब revs next is equals to null. Heads next would first, like first I need to remove this and then I need to make it back to that. Okay, rev is equal to, let me just do the same thing here also. Okay, let's just have the same convention. Node star rev is equals to head, and then node star tail is equals to rev. Okay, and then node star temp. Okay, we would have it. First we would initialize. Then head को आगे बढ़ाएंगे. Head is equals to head dash next. Head को आगे बढ़ा दिया. Now we need to first remove the link and then we need to add the link. Okay, यहाँ पे हम लोग directly add कर दे रहे थे link को, but first we need to remove it, then add it. So first we need to remove it. So rev dash next is equal to null. And now, while the head was pointing to some element, we were doing it. When the head was pointing to the null position, we didn't stop it. So while head is not equal to null position, okay, we would keep doing it. Now we would say temp is equals to heads next. Temp is equals to heads next position. Okay. Now heads next is equals to rev. Okay, then rev is equals to head. Okay, then head is equals to temp. Okay, and then we just return the rev. Return rev at this point. So here we were not able to use the same head thing. Okay, like in the explanation we use the proper head, but here we are not using it because we are given the value as head only. So instead of rev, tail, temp we are using. Okay, and this is just following the same four condition. See, this is the first condition of making it at the next. This is the second condition of assigning it. This is the third condition of taking it, and then we are moving forward. Okay, now just tell me I would just provide you the link of the code in an IDE. I would first make sure that this is running awesome, running, giving an AC or not. Done. I need to share the IDE link. Copied. सर ये नोड क्या है समझ नहीं आ रहा. What is this node? नोड क्या है? नोड समझ लो ना, समझ लो ये इंट है. ओके, समझ लो ये स्मॉल जो like let me just stop the screen sharing. Let me just replace everything. Okay, so so you don't need to understand node, just like we saw in the linked list. What you can do simply is you can do something like this. Okay, let's say you have this. What you can think of is, as of now, don't think about node. What you can do is just think about in terms of integer. Okay, just think at as integer value tha integer value. Okay, but here as we just don't have integer, we have a pointer associated also. दैट इज वाई नोड क्या है, नोड बेसिकली एक अदर टाइप ऑफ क्लास है, मतलब हम लोग के हिसाब से क्लास आती है। ओके और क्या समझ नहीं आ रहा, टेल मी मोर थिंग्स विच यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड। Node is just a name. Okay. Name to yes. Mount Tara. Thanks a lot, Mount Tara. Okay. शाही पतीले में अंकल, शाही पतीले में शाही चाय बनाओ, डीएसए तो रोज करते हो। यार वो स्ट्रीम नहीं कर सकता ना, स्ट्रीम नहीं कर पाऊंगा तो पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे, पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे तो चाय कैसे बनेगी। ओके सो हेड नेक्स्ट बता दो सर, वो हेड नेक्स्ट बता दो सर, वो नहीं समझ आया। बिल्कुल 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 वही मेरा काम है। ओके सो ये भी कर देता हूँ। हेड नेक्स्ट समझ में नहीं आया, कहाँ पे है हेड नेक्स्ट, हेड नेक्स्ट, हेड इज इक्वल्स टू हेड डॉट नेक्स्ट। ओके ये वाली चीज ना मैं समझाता हूँ ना, मैं किस लिए हूँ। ओके सो सी एक बार फिर से देखते हैं इस चीज को। ओके डॉट्स हटा दिए हैं, किसकी रिक्वेस्ट थी, चॉकलेट खिलाना भैया। ओके चलो देखो, we have 1, we have 2 and we have 3. So we initialize the head to this position and then we had the previous here and then we had the next here. Okay अगर head यहाँ होता so previous कहाँ से लाते। Okay we don't have something here as indexing, we can't use something like a of I minus 1 and it would point to the previous index. We don't have something like this. That is why we are making head move forward and keeping the previous to the head. इसीलिए head dot next किया ताकि it can point to the next element and previous can point to the first element, इसीलिए हुआ। Any more further concern or queries? फिर से देखोगे ना समझ आने लगेगा। Just go home, watch the stream again. It's time for dinner. Yep, it's time for my dinner also. Like I didn't have any evening snacks. Just came from office. What is going, sir? Naman Bansal. पढ़ाई चल रही है अभी तो। आशुतोष साहू. So Nikhil Jadhav, do I make sense to you? You are a great teacher, sir. Thank you so much. But being a great teacher is not a contribution of mine. My father and mother both are teachers. So this thing is contributed by my father and mother. Like its teaching is in my blood. The only contribution is that I might be a good coder, not a great coder. I might be a good coder. But this teaching thing is from my blood that is contributed by my father and mother. Like DNA mein hai teaching. Okay? How much do you love Geeks for Geeks? Mm, I kind of respect Geeks for Geeks a lot because it made me who I am. Okay, like it gave me a platform. Like still, even after 2 years of teaching, even if after few people know me, I still don't have a YouTube channel on my own. I still don't do any influencing thing on LinkedIn or Instagram. I still have around 150 followers on Instagram. Most of like majority of them are my friends. Some are my students who like to take a sneak peek in my personal life. Apart from that, I'm not an influencer, I'm not a YouTube person. Just by teaching, I'm here, and Geeks for Geeks made it possible. So I kind of respect Geeks for Geeks a lot. Okay. And how can I start Geeks for Geeks the first year of college? So start Geeks for Geeks the first year of college and make your obsession that I would work at Geeks for Geeks in the second year of college. That was my aim. Like this is what I like मुझे ऐसा लगता था। Okay, loving your video stream. Thank you so much. I'm loving you having you as an audience. Okay, so thank you. Can I start Geeks for Geeks? You can work Geeks for Geeks at the first year of college. भैया will you solve the last problem? No brother, it's already 10 for 9:45. मैं थोड़ा slow ही जाता हूँ. And last day also, like many people told me that Yash takes the speed of 2x. So मैं different, वो different है. Okay, so my pace is a little bit slow. I try to cater everything. My union intersection tak batata hu. That is why I won't be able to sum up three problems. If I try to pack three problems, then the absolute beginner things or absolute basic things I need to skip. Okay, you can start with good knowledge. Okay, before leaving, please give reference for next permutation. I don't even understand the problem. See, next permutation problem is a problem which don't have an intuition. You need to memorize it. कितना सैलरी देती है जीएफजी? बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं देती है, बहुत कम नहीं देती है, इतना देती है कि मैं खुश रह सकता हूँ. रियली डाउन टू पर्सन यू आर. थैंक यू सो मच. सर कौन से टेक स्टैक में काम करते हो? सो in office my tech stack is like I can't like it is related to Python. I'm a backend developer, it is related to Python. अब खुद guess कर लो. Okay, should I learn React JS or React Native? It entirely depends that you are interested in Android development or web development. Okay, but React JS like consider doing React JS because at this point of time React JS is kind of more. Bhaiya, can you give a hint to solve the problem? The last problem. Let me just see it and give you a hint. थर्ड डे देखता हूँ. ओके क्या है देखूँ. रिवर्स लिंक लिस्ट. चेक इफ द लिंक लिस्ट इज पैलिंड्रोम और नॉट. पैलिंड्रोम मतलब क्या होता है? It would read the same thing front and backwards. So just try to compare it with the reversed format. Sir, digital electronics भी पढ़ा दो sir. I am really very sorry. I have never studied in my BTech. Okay, like BTech curriculum, I didn't study it. Okay, so I am very sorry that I won't be able to teach you. Okay, let's make a Discord for this code camp. You can comment that out in the comment section because even though I make a Discord for the code camp, I won't be able to maintain it because I have an extremely busy life and I like to take out some little bit of time for my personal life. So I won't be able to maintain a Discord. So make sure you comment a lot and people also give a +1 +1 +1 to that comment so that a Discord is made by the Geeks for Geeks team, and I can just show it as a reference. The people want Discord, and they can do it and maintain it. So please, okay. Time error आता है Geeks for Geeks में for loop use करते हैं तो no, not at all. ये गलत है. अभी ज़्यादा हो रहा है. अभी बेइज्जती करने में लग रही है. How to get internship at Geeks for Geeks? Like what you can do is you can start pinging up the group. Like you can start pinging up the people from the Geeks for Geeks. Like you know people. Like there are many peoples I can name off who are very good. Okay, like I got many reference from this. Like I got a reference from Anushka Sharma at Geeks for Geeks, Amit Bhagal at Geeks for Geeks, Chinmay Lenka at Geeks for Geeks. They are like you can approach them. You can approach me also. I'm a little like I have been with Geeks for Geeks more than 2 years, so I can also give you a referral. We'll maintain it. Thank you so much. What is your review about the complete interview? Should you take it? Yes, you can take it. Like very less money, but still it is giving you the complete package. So you can consider it. Nessa वेस्ट फॉर प्रमोशन चालू हो गया. जावा में कितने बार करोगे? जावा में करे और सी में कितने जावा में करो. Whatever you know it, do it. Does college matter for placement? I joined Chitkara University. Okay, let me give you a hint. Okay, I taught at Chitkara University. Okay, if you are on your fourth, I taught the third year student of Chitkara University, Group 16, this January. This year, January, if you are from a third year student and you belong from CSE background, I was there as a professor of ADI and system design in Chitkara University itself. And the placement is very good. And I belong from a tier 3 college. And I'm here teaching at Chitkara University, so you can also do it. Okay, like being from such a small college, I can be a professor at Chitkara University. You can also do it. By the way, Chitkara University has some often awesome food at the food corner. Make sure you go it. Okay, sir, coding में guidance की ज़रूरत है. Get a course or hire a mentor. Does college matter for placement? I joined Jitkara. Bro, it's done. Like we can't meet. I was there just for 1 month. Like Geeks for Geeks team requested me for 1 month only. I have a full-time job to handle, and like मुझे बस experience लेना था offline का. So I went there as a freelancer professor. I taught group 16 and group 18 CSE. Currently, they are in the third year. Thank you, sir. Sure, most welcome. Sir, please Java में करवा दो. सारे explanation Java में कर रहा हूँ. Good night, everyone. Bye bye, Ashish Kumar and everyone. Okay, so that's it for today. So if you're watching this stream in the recorded version or in the live version, consider liking the video and commenting on the video so that this free initiative could be appreciated and it would help the moderators of who they are doing it. Like you are appreciating free things, so they would bring more free things. If you appreciate more paid things, they would bring more paid things. So you can drive the content that people provide. So try to appreciate a lot of free content. Like, okay, good night everyone. That's it. Thank you.